Um, it could be one, two, three, five. There's no control over it. The dose of the antigen, the dose of the mRNA, you may have some control over, but the dose of the antigen, almost none, because you don't have control over how many copies are made of the antigen per string. The biodistribution of it also is not controllable, right? So you see evidence of harms in lots of different body systems because but one reason might be because the biodistribution of where these antigens are made is not controllable. And the third thing is that the fidelity of the proteins made by the code for the mRNA technology is not perfect. You often get antigens and proteins that are not in the code itself because they're skipping frame shifts and other things. And so, from a regulatory perspective, how as a regulator do you say, okay, you can give this product to people even though you don't know the dose that you're giving to people, even though you don't know where it's going in the body, and even though you don't know that you're producing the target antigen that you want to produce, right? And as a future platform, okay, there was a Nobel Prize awarded for the mRNA technology to begin with that allowed it so that it would actually produce the antigens.
It began in healthy-looking pigs, months, perhaps years ago. A new coronavirus spread silently within herds. Gradually, farmers started getting sick. Infected people got a respiratory illness with symptoms ranging from mild flu-like signs to severe pneumonia. The sickest required intensive care. Many died. Experts agree unless it is quickly controlled, it could lead to a severe pandemic, an outbreak that circles the globe and affects people everywhere.
Tri-dimensional houses of energy.
No, let's see. No, let's see. Yeah, it's coming through. It's coming through. What about SoundForge? Bing, 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 bing. I don't understand what's going on. It's like way too late. Way too late. I don't get it. Yes, folks. I do claim to have a plan for the revolution. The real revolution. No Soros funded bullshit. All right, what do I gotta do over here? Now, I gotta convince everybody to make up. But it seems to me like people's egos are in control. So I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. But gotta try. Question is, are we gonna really allow mainstream media give a fuck about anybody to control the conversation? And it's a damn thing. It seems like that's what's gonna happen. We are going to collectively agree to let the mainstream media control this conversation. I mean, come on, people. I gotta say, this makes us look stupid. It's not good luck. I never really liked Trump, but when he got elected. There were some things that he said in the debates, right? Which I thought were freaking awesome. I've been paying attention to the mainstream media for years. I know that it's 100% bullshit. That's why I started listening to NPR, right? BBC, CBC, Canadian. But it took me a good 20 years before I realized how full of shit they were too. In fact, there's a lot of discussion about NPR, how they're let's see if I can find it. Say NPR. What would you call it? Funding. From 2000, I think it was 2008. Was it? It was 2008. Come on, get me out of here. NPR funding, 2000. I don't remember what it was. New NPR. CPP. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. 2011. In fiscal 2008, for example, grants from the corporation of public broadcasting accounted for about 10% of radio stations' revenue. Now it's replaced step-down march. I'm trying to find out. Let's listen to this. See what it says.
Would NPR and public radio stations be better off without federal funding? You do hear this argument a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think, I think public radio has to do a better job at making the case. I think as we look at the landscape of news in this country, commercial radio has pretty much abandoned serious news on a local basis. Newspapers are falling by the wayside every single day, including in a lot of metropolitan areas. There's a case to be made that we really need to have local news coverage to have an informed citizenry, and a lot of places in this country that just lack that. There's a big void, and it's kind of like having public libraries or public museums. There's a need to have public funding, and I think it needs to be better articulated. But I would say that, we've got to look at every one of our funding sources. I mean, I think in a way it's a blessing that public radio is not completely dependent. We do have a mosaic of funding that includes the private sector, corporate underwriters, nonprofit foundations, and especially the members who send in, their own money to contribute to their local public radio station, and major gift givers as well who do that. I think there's ways in we could probably be more creative in tapping into those sources going forward, and I plan to look at all four of those legs of the chair.
Of course, 2 weeks ago, that's all they want you to see.
From NPR News in Washington, I'm Jack Speer. The Justice Department is backing away from civil rights cases against police departments in Minneapolis and Louisville, Kentucky. The decision comes just days ahead of the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's murder in Minneapolis. NPR's Ryan Lucas reports.
The head of the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, Harmeet Dillon, announced the moves and said the timing has nothing to do with the anniversary of Floyd's death, but rather with looming court deadlines. The department is moving to dismiss lawsuits against Louisville and Minneapolis that accuse them of unconstitutional police practices and would impose consent decrees to help ensure accountability. Dillon says such consent decrees are too expensive. Last